Welcome back to Apescape. In this episode, we cover the first of 3 final levels. Basically...
Wait, hang on. We're already at the final levels.
I was going to explain before you interrupted me. Basically, for specific stages, in this case 3, you have only one goal. Catching Spectre. It does not matter how many monkeys you get for the stage. It's just going beginning to end.
I'm going for it.
Alright.
They do this a few times, but this one has kind of the most because it actually has 3 stages. This one, and then the second and third levels in the next world, well, next time era.
Okay, so this is not really a Ape Escape question, but rather a DualShock question. How many other games were on the PS1 that required the DualShock controller?
I think it was just Ape Escape.
Really? All of them? All of the...
I think Medieval?
Came out on...
No, no. You're just talking about basically, oh hey, this is required for the game, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just Ape Escape. I think it was just Ape Escape.
I'm actually looking this up because this is...
It's saying that Legend of Mana requires a DualShock.
Yeah.
Really? That's weird considering what Legend of Mana is.
RC Stun?
Quake 2 apparently.
What?
Well,
Alien Resurrection.
Oh. Okay. Well, those ones are more first-person shooters, so that one's understandable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
I know there's a bunch of PS1 games that, took advantage of the DualShock, but, now that I think about it...
What games actually required it?
Yeah. I mean, like, there was stuff like, Resident Evil DualShock Edition, not to be confused with Resident Evil Director's Cut or Resident Evil. Why are there... But, yeah, it's like, all of them enhance the game, but I really think that Ape Escape is the only title that...
actively requires the DualShock, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, games on PS2 actively used it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, but that's because on PS2 there was only the DualShock controller.
Yep.
There was one type of controller. It wasn't like, yeah, we started out, but we made some fuck up, so here's a new and improved version. Now, I will say though, I'd much rather have a game to be exclusive to, a certain type of controller. It's way better than, that garbage that Nintendo pulled with Game Boy Color and new 3DS, where it was like, yeah, we've got some titles that you can only play on this. Because with a controller, you just purchase a new one.
Yeah.
And back then, this might be hard to believe, but back then controllers didn't cost you $70 fucking bucks.
Yeah.
Like, how much were they? Like 20, 30?
I'm just hitting the mic,
30, I think.
hitting this way too early.
Yeah, the prices for the Joy-Cons are crazy. I don't get how they can charge that much for them.
Hopefully the Switch 2 or whatever it's the next console will be basically better off for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still not touching Joy-Cons with like a 10-foot pole, unless I know, like I want to be guaranteed that either the controller is going to just work, or that if the controller stops working, I'm backed up by the warranty. Because like the whole thing with the Joy-Con fiasco back when it was new, it so pissed me off, and it just put me off of playing games on my Switch for like the longest time. Like, I end up buying a USB adapter so I could use my PlayStation controller. I end up buying a third-party wired-only controller, until eventually deciding to just buying a Pro controller, which I don't like because I still think it's inferior technology, even though what people are saying. But yeah, for a long time I was using like aftermarket controller just because I didn't want to support Nintendo. Like,
Yeah, no, sorry. I'll wait
No,
for you to
go
finish. My Joy-Cons that I had, like, they caught, like, the Joy-Con drift, and so I sent them into Nintendo, and this was during the pandemic, keep in mind. So,
ooh.
I was playing, like, a lot of Animal Crossing, because, like, to get my mind off of things, and so I was kind of getting, like, twitchy and nervous and that, so we went to Best Buy here when they finally, like a lot, like, you know, opened up, like, outside. So I got like a third-party Pro controller that I still use actually, and it's better than like the actual Joy-Cons.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, like, the whole problem with the Joy-Cons is that, and this is one of the main reasons why there are so many flaws with them. They had to design the Joy-Cons to be like portable, and so you can slide them into the system. And that is something that I can understand. But if you're going to ask me 40 euros per Joy-Con, I don't care if you have to design them in a specific way. You need to stand behind your product. And I get the strong feeling that like Nintendo doesn't stand behind it. And that's why, you know, I haven't used my Switch portably. When I bought it, I only bought it for the portability. Like, I didn't dock my Switch whatsoever, and now that's done a total 180. Now, I do know there's a pretty neat, like, sort of third-party kind of thing where it's not wireless, but like some really amazing controller-like alternatives which you can just slide in, and they actually have like a really good grip. I've been considering getting that, but I kind of just went over the whole gaming on the go kind of thing. Like, it's the kind of thing where it's neat to have, but I would rather just go back to the days where it was like, you know, having a DS or a PSP when, you know, games were made to be more, you know, portable. Because the whole thing about the hybrid design of the Switch is like, yeah, it's great that I can play Bayonetta on the bus, but if I'm sitting next to a 6-year-old, that's kind of awkward. Because even if you try to keep the screen away, you know that the 6-year-old is going to watch anyway, because it's a 6-year-old, and those people are just attracted to anything with a screen on it.
Come on, you get that monkey, Oh. So,
There.
got the monkey.
Also, notice how I had to do another thing for that bounce pad. Boy, that's not foreshadowing to a later level, is it?
Oh boy, the monkey can shoot through the bars. That's lovely.
Luckily, it didn't hit me.
Okay, I know those things are.
Yeah.
Okay, I know those things are supposed to be like spiders for the game, but they just look so goofy. It's funny.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So
It's like, do you really want realistic spiders in your goofy monkey game? Yeah, we have realistic wet
No,
arm
thank you.
sword using knight in our Goofy Monkey game.
I mean, he looks kind of goofy.
A little bit.
Like he seems like the kind of guy to go like this, but a flesh wound.
God.
How many episodes have we used that joke for?
I don't know. 5.
And we're not gonna
At this
stop
point, we're
using
gonna. I was gonna say at this point we need to have like a counter that comes up every time we say
No.
that line.
No.
What? Like how South Park at one point had a counter of how many times they said the word shit in an episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was also more for a gag for the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I actually
Still-
found out about it.
still
I
funny.
actually found out about it recently. When I was doing like my late night Twitter browsing sessions, and I came across a clip from Family Guy where they were making a sort of diss track song about the FCC and their censorship and
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then somebody mentioned the episode of South Park where they had the shit counter. Like it's still ridiculous how many like good bits of South Park I haven't seen yet. But I kind of feel like if I watch everything, it's going to be one, incredibly dated, and two, I don't think that like half of the humor is really for me.
Yeah, South Park is kind of a good is a I'm not gonna say it's a refined taste. It more depends on your sense of humor. Like there's some stuff I'll still laugh at. There's some stuff I'll still laugh at.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there are a lot of jokes that just feel basically just not well written. Like
Kind of forced.
yeah, like the entire Return of Chef episode I felt is just really
Yeah.
awful.
Well, like they did it like shortly after he passed away. Like that.
Yeah, that too.
That was my gripe with the episode too. Like they just did like right after he passed away. Like they could have done like a better episode to acknowledge like the character, but no, they made like Chef into like this kind of. I did not like that at all.
Yeah, it's like
Because Chef was like one of my favorite characters first.
yeah, basically.
The one thing,
Go
the
ahead.
one thing that I'll point to when I say that I kind of have a on-off relationship with the humor of South Park is definitely when I look at the games, and don't get me wrong, the games themselves are solidly designed, but contrary to how we ended last episode, I'm not really that big on toilet humor, and Fractured Butthole and Stick of Truth are like completely full of it, and like I get that for some people it's funny to have a dedicated fart button, and it's just the kind of thing where it gets too much at some point. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the kind of
yeah.
I'm the kind of
It
person who
becomes
would
too
laugh
much.
at. I'm the kind of person who would laugh at the social commentary. Like that's the
Yeah.
that's the one thing that I love the most out of South Park.
Yeah,
how-
the social commentary stuff is good. It's when
yeah,
you
like
get
there's a
stuff-
lot of bits where I just straight up agree with South Park. Like I feel like the social commentary is on point, and
Yeah.
it's kind of what I base bits of my humor around. Which, to be fair, you know, sometimes can be taken the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of South Park, they have like a new special coming out, and apparently it's poking fun of like the woke crowd community in general, and they're all on like X tweeting. Yeah, they don't like it. Like they're pissed. But I saw like the trailer, and I'm thinking like, okay, this is gonna be a really good episode, like special, because they have a deal with Paramount to like produce like movies for Paramount Plus. So
Wait, really?
there's that.
They're signing with Paramount?
I mean, it's not. It's
Yeah.
more
Wait, no,
Paramount.
actually,
Viacom
yeah,
is
yeah.
owned by Paramount.
You
So
know,
it's-
I just realized, like, I recall some of the South Park episodes having like the MTV logo before it, or the MTV intro before it, and MTV is Viacom, Viacom is also Nickelodeon, Viacom is also Paramount, Paramount is Paramount. Yeah, okay, from that angle, it makes sense.
Well, comedy. I think Comedy Central kind of. I think they're dropping South Park because they've been getting a lot of negative feedback for South Park. So
Really?
they've been like airing. They've been airing like the new episodes exclusively like on MTV.
Okay, can I just take a moment to ask, do people still, like, is MTV still popular?
I think so.
It's popular with the woke crowd.
With the woke crowd?
I miss MTV. I don't like how MTV turned out. Like, it used to be about the music, but now it's like 99% more reality shows than.
Yeah, it's like it used to be a channel which had like the latest music videos, but that was also in a time where you couldn't. Not everybody had internet, so not everybody could watch them. But yeah, nowadays it is like 99% reality TV shows, and like 80% of those reality TV shows are involving teen pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teen Mom. Yeah. I remember like Friday nights like on MTV for me, Daria. Like it kind of like spun off from Beavis and Butthead. I like that show.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I kind of feel like MTV should get a rebrand, but then I also understand the angle that, you know, if they're going to get rid of the name MTV, well, they won't be like the only reason why people are watching MTV is because of word of mouth and association. You know, it's kind of the same reason why you wouldn't try to rename Twitter, because you know that people are just going to keep calling it Twitter.
Very good. Then let's get going. Right. Hold on. You're not.
Which I still think naming it X is just a stupid idea.
Oh, but
like,
we will.
Why would you name your service like your social media platform X?
You won't even know what hit you.
Why would you name it after a singular letter? Like, I X'd it. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Like, you need to be clever with your names, and a lot of companies just, even if there is
Fire random airship.
That thing looks like one of the Beatles from Sonic Adventure 2.
Hang on. If the airship could just vanish, then why did it activate its propellers?
To take off. Anyway, all these...
How can it take off if there's nowhere to take off to?
Magic. Also, all these stages end with the boss fight against Not Spectre, except for the third one.
Fascinating.
Yeah, this is where the only boss fights in these games are, near the very end. This one, the Knight is, I think, the worst one because it has such a big hitbox.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Are there ways to upgrade your health in this game?
No, there aren't.
Okay, so you just have 5 cookies?
Yep.
Or 5 biscuits, I guess?
Cookies. They're cookies.
Well, it depends on your definition of cookie. Like, what I'm
They
seeing
call them cookies,
are biscuits.
Edgy. They call them cookies.
Yeah. But if I as a kid was offered one of those, they would always tell me like, "Hey, you want a biscuit?" Like, just because you call them cookies doesn't mean they're cookies. Like, I could call my RTX 2080 Ti a 4090, But that doesn't make it a 4090. So are these, aside from the ridiculously big hitbox, are these guys, are they difficult to take down, or
This
do
one,
they just-
this one is the more annoying of the three. Three, in my honest opinion. The airship's annoying, but it's not super bad. And yes, we are fighting the airship.
and it drops health. That's good to know.
Yeah, but I died. But it died. So
Yeah, but still, it's pretty neat that they give you health. You know, that they keep your health into consideration.
oh no, Natalie's gone.
Oh, that's not good. It's not good at all.
She can take care of herself.
Wee.
Insert Doctor Who music here.
Hey, wait a minute. What's going on here?
So, what is this, like Shibuya?
We're back in our time, and now the monkeys have things to just start changing stuff to more monkey-like.
Okay, I kind of want to ask, in the original version, was there product placement in this section?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh,
what
really?
kind?
Wait, what? I was more distracted by laughing at the guy being chased by a motorcycle. What did you say?
I was asking if in the original version there was product placement here.
I don't know.
Right. Listen, I have a message from the.
And hey,
Like,
the
it's-
only time that
it's-
the AI assistant was able to talk.
Spike, I'm sure you've seen the strange things going on outside. Where you
But
saw Inspector
yeah,
and
seeing all those billboards, it kind of makes me think that they could have had product placement, and I know that in this generation it was actually quite common to have that kind of thing.
The apes are everywhere.
I mean, they made an entire game about fucking Pepsi Man.
You're the only
Yeah.
one who can save us all. You've got the gadgets.
Granted,
Use them.
we didn't get it,
We're counting on you.
Hey, wait a minute! What are you
but
doing?
Memer is gonna meme.
The monkey's like, I'm on YouTube now.
Yes, yeah. Professor and Natalie are now captured by Spectre and his monkeys.
That's lovely.
But we still have to go back to
Lovely.
the the
Lovely.
time twister because really weird that the last 4 stages, well, actually, last 3 stages are in the present time, but yet we're going to the time twister.
Oh, yay.
Look, I told myself a long time ago to not question the logic of games when they start introducing time travel.
True.
You really find yourself spending way too much energy thinking about it. Energy you could better waste on other stuff.
True. But yeah, that is the first of 3 Spectre chase stages. Like I said, the amount of monkeys you capture does not matter. All that matters is getting straight to the end, which they're pretty straightforward levels. If a bit long.
Alright. Yeah.
Because yeah, I did get almost every single monkey in that one. I just didn't get I get a few extra monkeys. But I get that in the secondary run back through.